the accused MS-13 gang member that Democrats rallied behind, checks in with ICE in Baltimore, and we're now learning he's back in ICE custody. Could he be one step closer to possible deportation? Good morning. I'm Dana Perino. Bill Hemmer is off today. Great to be with you again.
Good morning to you as well. You get me for another week.
Thank you. I'll take it.
I'm Bill Malugin. This is America's Newsroom. The high-profile illegal immigrant dubbed the Maryland Father by Legacy Media was released on Friday from a Tennessee jail. This is after he rejected a plea deal offer. Well, that offer would have sent him to Costa Rica in exchange for pleading guilty to human smuggling charges. But
now Kilmar Abrego Garcia's days on U.S. soil could be winding down as he is back in ICE custody, and his attorney says that is out of bounds.
Mr. Abrego Garcia was taken into custody by ICE this morning. There was no need for them to take him into ICE detention. He was already on electronic monitoring from the U.S. Marshal Service and basically on house arrest. The only reason that they've chosen to take him into detention is to punish him.
David Spunt, live outside that ICE facility in Baltimore. What do you know, David?
Well, we know that he was taken into custody, Dana, pretty much immediately after he walked into this federal building behind me for that ICE check-in. We also know that there is now a new lawsuit in federal court, and Kilmar Abrego Garcia is the plaintiff. Watch.
In the last 5 minutes, Mr. Abrego Garcia has filed a new lawsuit in the Federal District Court for the District of Maryland, challenging his current confinement and challenging deportation to Uganda or to any other country unless and until he's had a fair trial as in an immigration court, as well as his full appeal rights.
So as of this moment, he's out of prison awaiting trial in Tennessee for federal human smuggling charges. About 150 supporters came out to Baltimore early this morning for a 6:30 a.m. rally featuring Abrego Garcia. The crowd now thinning out. It's been largely peaceful, people singing, playing on guitars. DHS officials, though, have indicated they may deport him, but not back to his home country of El Salvador, possibly to Uganda. Here's Abrego Garcia earlier.
Seguirán luchando, orando, creyendo en la dignidad y la libertad, no solo para mí, para todos.
Promise me that you will continue to pray, continue to fight, resist, and love, not just for me, but for everybody. Continue to demand freedom. Thank you so much.
So he's been living in Maryland illegally for a few years, but was mistakenly deported to El Salvador in March as part of the president's plan to curb illegal immigration. A judge previously said he shouldn't be supported to his home country over fear of gang violence. He was then brought back to the United States to face smuggling charges in Tennessee, but he's in Maryland now because another federal judge ordered to be returned here where he lives as he awaits trial in Tennessee. Now, his case, guys, as we've been reporting for months, is risen above all others, primarily because he was deported by mistake without a court hearing, which is called due process. This is that famous picture of Chris Van Hollen, the Maryland senator, sitting with Abrego Garcia over lunch in El Salvador, arguing his due process rights were non-existent. However, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem out with a statement over the weekend saying, by ordering this monster loose on America's streets, this judge has shown a complete disregard for the safety of the American people. We will not stop fighting till this Salvadoran man faces justice and is out of our country. As Bill Malugin rightly noted, that he had that option to go to Costa Rica, I should say, for pleading guilty, not even to live in prison in Costa Rica, as far as we understand it. But he rolled the dice. He's in ICE custody, and he could be going to Uganda or potentially another country very soon. Back to you.
And David, we understand that Maryland Governor Wes Moore is sounding off on all this. What's he saying?
Yeah, Wes Moore is also Chris Van Hollen, pretty much any politician. Glenn Ivey, I spoke to him earlier. They're concerned about his due process rights. Listen.
When we look at what's happened in this situation, it's the president manipulating the fact that we have a very broken immigration system inside this country. But instead of actually doing the work that it requires to fix it, I just simply want a court and a judge to decide what is going to be the future fate of this case and all cases like this, and not simply the President of the United States or the Secretary of Homeland Security, who's trying to be judge, juror, prosecutor, and executioner inside this case.
So So those supporting Kilmar Abrego Garcia, they say, listen, he needs to have a day in court. He should have never been sent to El Salvador in the middle of the night with no court hearing at all. That's what they're fighting for. We'll see where this new lawsuit goes, and we'll see when he's deported, because we think he's going to be deported. All signs are pointing to that. It's just the question of when and where. We've heard Uganda, but it's possible it could be somewhere else. Back to you.
David Spunt, thank you so much. And let's bring in former ICE Director Jonathan Fahey. Thank you for joining us this morning. This has been going on since March 15th, at least with the Trump administration. Do you think that today will bring it to an end?
I don't think it will bring it to an end, but the end is coming for Abrego Garcia in terms of being able to be free on American soil. He's going to be deported. And one of the things that's interesting, this judge in Tennessee kind of created this whole issue by releasing him, putting ICE on the spot that they have to deport him because he's a danger to the community. And being on electronic monitoring simply means somebody is on a bracelet that if they decide to cut off and do harm to Americans or go try to escape, we have to go and try to find them, which is not in the interest of public safety. So I don't think it will end, but it will end for him as far as being free on American soil. He's going to be deported. He might go home or go somewhere else.
And Jonathan, if we strip away all the noise surrounding this case, forget the wife-beating allegations, forget the MS-13 alleged gang membership, forget the alleged human trafficking, at the end of the day, he's still an illegal alien from El Salvador with a deportation order. He just has something called withholding of removal, which means he just can't go to El Salvador, but he can go anywhere else in the world. Is that right?
That's exactly right. I'm glad you pointed that out. He's already had due process, and a judge ordered him deported, and the only reason he wasn't deported to El Salvador is because he claimed he'd be in danger there. And now we also know things have changed in El Salvador, where it's significantly safer, certainly significantly safer than the state of Maryland these days. So yes, he's been ordered deported. He can go home to El Salvador. He could go somewhere else. But this administration is crystal clear. He doesn't get to stay here.
All right, back in ICE custody and federal custody, and they're saying they're going to deport him. The question now is, where's he going to go? We'll wait and see. Jonathan Fahey, great to see you. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I'm Steve Ducey.
I'm Brian Kilmeade.
And I'm Ainsley Earhart. And click here to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page to catch our hottest interviews and most compelling analysis.